So you want to be a wizard, Max? You've come to the right place. Hello ratbags, it's Jade with another 1.0 grounded video. They've done it. The mad lads at Obsidian have added Staves. You are going to be firing off magic in grounded. Now to be honest, I should have expected this since we've seen the wizard's hat teased in a trailer and game files, and I showed it off very first time like a year ago. But yeah, I kind of forgot, honestly. So seeing Staves, actual magic being used, is crazy and I'm absolutely loving them. They are seriously OP, so I'm going to go through everything you need to know about them right now. Plus obviously the wizard's hat. Let's go. So to get the new Staves and the wizard's hat, you're going to need to go and get the termite wood pile chip. In fact, these are some of the only unlocks you get from the woodpile chip now. Return them to Burgle obviously, and then you can go ahead and buy the wizard's hat for 2,500, the candy staves for 2,500, and then the other two items, the cookbook woodpile and the more creatures, which is just part of it. This really is endgame gear though, because you look at the resources you're going to need to craft it. You're going to need a whole ton of globs, some of the brand new pine cones, lots of tough gunk, pond stuff, and a lot more. They all work quite differently, and some of them have definitely got more bonus stats in terms of actual using stun. Well, let's start off with the spicy one. So obviously, just like normal, it's going to do more damage against the creatures that take spicy damage, but it's in a big arc. You can fire it and you have to aim pretty low to hit something right in front of you, otherwise there is a chance it might just sail over their heads, and you can actually charge this up to do a mega attack. And then if you hold it to charge, it does let out this massive attack, but yeah, it does take quite a few seconds for it to really get going. But you can see how much damage it did there to that Orb Weaver. And these are all unupgraded. The only thing I'm obviously wearing is the wizard's hat, which does give you more parry window when using it. But we'll go over that in a bit more detail in a while. So like I said, there's a big arc. It's going to take a bit of a while getting used to exactly where it's going to kind of land, but the splash damage is massive. You're pretty much guaranteed to hit something as long as it's close enough. But obviously a more direct hit, you will do a lot more damage. Or you can just fire off the shots, and that's also obviously pretty decent. If you aim a bit higher, you can make it go a little bit further, but not by much. And if you aim too high, then it simply will go behind you or literally just land right on top of you. I've got to say, the effects on these are some of the best I have seen in Grounded or any other game really. Just really love it, really love the use and ease of it. You can't hold any shields while using the staves though, nor obviously can you hold a torch either. So although it's a one-handed weapon, you do have to use both hands. Now for flying creatures, yes, it might be a bit more of a challenge taking them on. You might have to time it right just when they're about to attack you, or hope that they're staying in one spot like this mosquito here. But yeah, I really liked the spicy one, it was really good. And once you start upgrading it, it does a huge amount of damage. So the spicy staff, you're going to need 5 of the spicy globlets, you're going to need 5 pine cones, 5 tough gunk, and 5 fire red and mandibles. Overall, it's going to do 4.5 damage, 0 stun, but 7 speed. Should go without saying that they obviously use stamina. That's a big thing. So any kind of armors that are going to give you more stamina or mutations are good. So the next one we're going to show you is the sour one. And this one's probably going to be the toughest to actually get the materials for, as a lot of the sour pieces are only in the upper yard or hard to get places. But for sure, it's pretty powerful. Definitely maybe not as good in the open, but actually taking out some of the anthills or some of the laboratories where you come across creatures, these green balls will rebound all over the walls. It's pretty rapid fire as well, but it does have a charge attack that you can hold down, and it will just basically do a bigger ball of the actual sour, I guess, energy. So yeah, best not to use this one too much in the open, although it's still effective. I would say use it for laboratories and underground. The exception to that is taking on flying creatures. If you get your good aim, you get used to it, these guys can take down mosquitoes so well with the stun ability that it's got. Also, it does kind of pulse, so it fires out more tendrils and they can actually catch a wide area. It does seem to work. They will actually hit creatures even if you don't get a direct hit on them. But yeah, it's still going to take some getting used to using the big power charge attack, certainly for flying creatures, to really use it effectively. To make one, you're going to need 5 of the sour goblets, again 5 pine cones, 5 gunk, and 5 of the pond moss, which you can only use a tier 3 dagger to get from anywhere at the bottom of the ponds. So what you're seeing now, of course, is that the only difference really between the 3 of them is the stun damage. And look at it, it's literally 10 stun with the sour staff. So yeah, absolutely use it in enclosed spaces so you've got more chance of it rebounding and doing some more damage or hits. And just keep firing loads of them and you're going to do a load of stun damage. ridiculously OP in these situations. Also works as a temporary light source too. And then finally we got the Mint stave. Now this I wasn't enjoying when I first started to use it. I felt like you have to really hold down the button, you can't just press it, so there's no quick projectile and it just leaves you a bit open. It felt like it just didn't sort of spread far enough either. It's a really close range weapon. But once you start to realise that and you're going to get really up close against these guys, it is pretty formidable. It does just feel like the hitbox isn't as big as the actual effects, but that's okay. Up against the Ladybug here, absolutely decimated it. So obviously when you increase or upgrade on, you just increase in durability, but that's really good. And yeah, like I said, anything that's going to give you lots of stamina usage is going to be something really important while using this. Or maybe speed as well, being able to dodge and move around creatures while you're firing these staves and magics at them. For completionists out there, there may be a bit of a shame there's not a salty one, but I guess we have got a formidable weapon in terms of the salt mace, so really maybe that's why. And you'll notice as well there's a whole bunch of other weapons that really do give lots of elemental damage types, so this is just like a nice good mix. Definitely good, like I said, for taking on bigger, larger creatures, or certain ones like larger sway ones like the stun one, the sour one in certain places. So onto the Wizard's Hat. It's going to give you literally 3.5 defense, not the best, and then resistance is only 2.5. It of course is a light armor, but it has got that staff parry window. You could maybe pair this with the rest being koi armor sets and you'd have almost like a perfect parry kind of build, I guess, especially if you suck at it. And it actually works well with it being upgraded. If you take the Wizard's Hat down the sleep path, then you basically get another bonus, which is going to do more damage with any of your perfect parry attacks. So that's the upgraded bonus, and then the normal one that you just get on it, the staff parry window, actually increases your parry window when you've done an attack. So they really complement each other really well. And like I said, combine that with something like koi armor, or something that's going to give you more block actual attack, maybe like the brand new Black Ox armor. And you really can create some massively OP builds here as long as you're confident enough to block stuff. I guess the only slight downside is the actual Wizard Hat. You're going to have to use Termite King Carapace. So that means you might have to make a decision between obviously crafting a Termite Axe or going for the actual Wizard's Hat. To me though, it's pretty obvious that you go for the axe first because you might not have a bunch of the materials yet if you're going around the order of the yard you're meant to. And then by the time you're ready, you've collected more of the sour stuff, more of the pine cones, and you're ready to go, then hopefully the king will respawn. Although it has been a persistent issue during early access, but I'm sure it'll be fixed by 1.0 and it should spawn after, I think, maybe like 12 days, I do believe. Unless you do get more than what I imagine, and you'll have enough to craft both. You're also going to need 10 berry leather, which isn't that hard, and 3 crow feathers, so really super easy to craft. So there we go, that is Staves. Let me know which one's going to be your favourite you think to use, or how you find them now you've maybe unlocked them already. For sure, I'm going to be aiming for the sour one to use in some of the harder laboratories later on in the game. Until next time, Ratbags, I'll catch you later.